literally back with another video. I'm back with my two brothers, Aaron and Nuruddin. This is the Straightjacket podcast. And as you can see, guys, there's a new intro, guys. I don't know if you're going to see it, but Aaron and Nuruddin, I've not seen it yet. But before this video, there's going to be a new intro. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. That was done by Culture Solskjaer. Shout out to him. And also, Danny, our guy, even Aaron as well, our graphic designer. Shout out to him for supporting the kind of graphics to the intro video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. But this is the podcast 76, guys, sponsored by the OneFootball app. And I just got some good news for you. They have got a new OneFootball app design, new logo, new design, freshen things up, and whatnot. But still the same content. Download it in the description, guys, below. All the latest football news, all your latest content, anything to do with the Premier League. As the Premier League is hotting up, the top four race is hotting up. So, yeah, guys, check all your latest news. And it's international as well, so you can check your latest La Liga news. But, guys, I want to give a warm welcome to my two brothers in the building. Well, not in the building, but you know what I mean, innit? Guys, guys,
in the virtual building. We're in the virtual building.
Virtual building. There you go.
Trust me. But, Aaron, I want to start with you. How are you, bro?
I'm still gassed off yesterday, man. I'm great. But, I'm going to use Nordin's word here. I'm going to use Nordin's words. Even though I'm happy, let's not get too giddy.
Let's
not get too giddy. But I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm alive. I'm good, man.
And you know what I was going to say to you, by the way, Aaron? Congo, the Independence Day. It's one day before Somalia's Independence Day.
Bro, so, yeah, I didn't notice, man. Happy Independence Day to you guys, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to you guys, bro.
Well, man. That's one thing we've got nothing in common, man. So big up to Congo, man.
Definitely, man. Big up Somalia as well, bro.
Yeah, man. Respect, bro. And Nuruddin, how are you today, bro? On this warm, sunny sunshine of Manchester.
Stunning.
yes, man. This is how it is. So I'm good. I will say that, happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, Aaron.
Thank you.
I will say that I was getting giddy with it when the goals were going in yesterday. On reflection, I have to analyze the whole of the game, not just part, not just the goals part of the game. But yeah, of course I was celebrating, and it was great to see. I'm good. Yeah, I've been on a course. So it's been good. I've been doing some virtual course. So it's been good. So I've been sat here since 10 o'clock this morning, boys. Right on this.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Active.
Since 10 o'clock, stretching and everything else, doing what I'm doing, man. Yeah, I'm good. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. But, guys, obviously, as you all know, we absolutely goals galore are raining at Old Trafford. That would have been a fitting moment for you, for boys, to be at Old Trafford. Imagine that, the goals absolutely raining in, you know what I mean? And I want to start off with you, Aaron. Goals galore, but did we get away with it, or have we got the front five now, Aaron, to get away from that? You know what I mean? Barcelona, they might concede 2 goals, but they've got Messi in there to score 3. We've got a fab five now that can do the business now, can do the damage. So what would you say with it? Do we get away with that yesterday? Because Bournemouth could have had a couple of goals in there. We had a few shaky moments and whatnot. So did we get away with that one if it was a better team? Or now, games now? You know what I mean? Like Ferguson said, attack wins your games.
I think it's a bit of both. We did get away with it because, if you notice at the start of the game, Bournemouth they started the game off the way Sheffield wanted to start the game off. The only difference was Bournemouth had actually more quality up front to start that way. That's why you've seen them, score that goal. It's not that easy to score that goal. That goal that Stanislas scored. It's not that easy, because it's a tight angle. You've got the goalkeeper literally right in front of you, so you really got to pick your angle to kind of put it in the net, in the back of the net. So I think Bournemouth had more quality when it came to that. But I just think that the only difference that we managed to make in that game was finally, even though we went 1-0 down, finally we were like, it's cool, we can come back. That was the first time I've actually seen us have that mentality, because I think, and everyone kind of tweeted as well. Everyone tweeted when we went 1-0 down, everyone was saying, okay, cool, 1-0 down, it's a stupid mistake. Let's not get beat around the bush. It was a stupid mistake because we had 2 opportunities to clear it. We don't clear it properly. Then Maguire gets smegged in his own half. Oh, and you're like, oh my days. And then
We'll touch on that in a bit later. Your
boy Beckenbauer gets smegged in his own half. And then Stanislav scores. But everyone literally was saying, okay, this now is going to be a test mentally. Can we come back from that? And we did. It was a brilliant response. And then we just went on and scored more and more and more. And even when we conceded the penalty in the second half, again, we just went out there and we went, okay, cool, whatever. We're going to score more. So I think we've created this mentality, or we're starting to create this mentality of, you score 2, cool, we'll score 4, 5. You score 3, okay, no problem, we'll score 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I know it's probably not the best way to have, or the best mentality to go into games, because obviously when you're playing in defense, especially, and when you're a goalkeeper, you want to finish the game with a clean sheet. That would be the perfect way to end the game. I think if we would have beaten Bournemouth 5-0 instead of 5-2 yesterday, that would have been even better. Do you know what I mean? Because we scored the 5 goals and the defense is happy as well because they keep the clean sheet. But I think it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both, to be honest.
Yeah, Nuruddin, first time United have scored 5 goals since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game at Cardiff away. First time we scored 5 goals at home since Berbatov's 5 goals.
Wow.
Blackburn in 2011. Nuruddin, man, I know it's it's kind of embarrassing when you talk about a club of Man United stature that we can't score 5 goals when Man City have done it in about one season about 50 times. You know what I mean? But it's not good to compare. But you know what I mean? It's good to see goals galore now. We're kind of almost no mercy now. We've got no mercy at the minute. You know what I mean? Just putting team to the sword now. What you score, we score. You score, we score. It's like a basketball match now, Man United.
But I don't like that. I actually don't like that because there will come a time where we can't score, where our strikers are not on form. The opposition's goalkeeper is having an absolute worldie, but we're still going to concede as well. So that was my biggest takeaway from the game yesterday, wasn't the fact that United was scoring goals, because I always believed, and I said it, it's all over Straightjacket podcast is all over there. If you provide service for these players, they will score. If you were to give them that enough sustained pressure, finally they will find the space to create something. But what I want to go back to is actually the game. They started all right, a little bit in terms of the balanced game, and then United come into it. This is before they scored, Bournemouth. And then we hemmed them. We kept them hemmed in, and then they kept going on the break. But it was really interesting because I'm like, where was this type of play? I mean, I put the tweet out there, that guy Red Devil, I put the tweet out saying, this is a dangerous game because everybody expecting us to hammer them. We did hammer them in, but they've got nothing to lose. And Stanislas, I'm not seeing him lately. I'm not even seeing him.
They put their front 5 out.
Yeah.
He had a 5.
Yeah. He's been, alternating between the injuries that he's got and the players that they have. But the system they played yesterday at Old Trafford, obviously, I always say, innit, come to the theatre and dreams, you know what? See how much you can dream, you know what I mean? That's how it is, innit? They all become ballers. Everybody tends to a baller when they come to the when they come to the theatre of dreams. So yeah, so there's different aspects of the game where I was like, okay, this is worrying in terms of defensively, and even how Matic has been playing really well. He was getting caught out, and it's not his fault that he's slow. And obviously, also the other thing is that we've not really come across a team that really exposes us in terms of defensively and in our midfield. But I thought at times on the break they did expose our midfield and our defense in terms of pace. So there were different things to take. And when you talk about City doing it 50-something on, it's not good to compare us to Man City. Man United and Man City, there's no comparison. But it's good to compare how much our own standards have dropped. How much our own standards have dropped. So that to me is a key to say, wow, this is how long, like in 2011, like last time we scored five goals at Old Trafford.
Crazy.
We where it used to be, our team used to be. I remember under Fergie that once we lost a game, whoever beat us, whether it's 1-0, 2-1 or whatever, 3-2, whatever they beat us, the team after that used to go, oh no, they've lost. We're in here now. We're going to get absolute spanking. And that used to take place. Man United then, the next game, when you got beaten, would go on a mad run. and win like 9 in a row or 8 in a row. Do you know what I mean? Or not get beat.
Yeah.
Our own standard is not about other people's standards. It's our own standards, and how much as a club from the hierarchy and where that lies. You know, from the hierarchy from the top, how much of that our own standards has dropped.
Yeah, man, and that kind of fluidity now, Aaron. We've got the fluidity going. You know what I mean? It's like almost a case of now, you know, every attack now we got, it's like we're just almost creating a chance now. We've not seen that for a while now. You know what I mean? Van Gaal, you know what I mean? It was almost kind of a systematic football where it would build up to the attack. Mourinho would, you know what I mean, half-hearted approach, you know what I mean? Sometimes negative tactics. You know what I mean? David Moyes, well, you know, 80 crosses in a box, you know what I mean? And then go in. You know what I mean? So now, it's almost a case of now, there's a bit more fluidity in terms of our play and how, you know, Bruno Fernandes and Pogba are just almost now running the show now. You know what I mean? They're threading the ball into the players and whatnot. And it's now we're enjoying it now. We're enjoying Man United playing football. We've got a group of players now that we like, man. I've never seen that before, Aaron, man.
Same, man. I can only echo what you're saying. It's a group of players that we actually like. Like, we watch the players and we can actually encourage them now. Do you know what I mean? There was a time where, you know, we'd see the starting lineup. It would be our strongest lineup, but you'd still be like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's playing. But now you're looking at the lineup and you're thinking, yes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels so good. Like, I was talking to someone the other day and I was saying it feels so good to see Paul Pogba's name in the starting lineup for 4 games in a row now. We've seen his name in the starting lineup. It feels good. Do you know what I mean? It feels really good to be. You can kind of, for the next game, we don't even have to wait for the starting lineup because we can already kind of predict what it's going to be. Do you see what I mean? You don't have to, you know, be surprised to see Pereira in there or Lingard in there. Do you see what I mean? So it's a likable group now. The fans can cater to the players. They can relate to the players. And the best thing about this is that the players deliver. They absolutely deliver. And it boosts the fans even more. It boosts us as fans to support the guys even more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're looking forward to games now. Like, I was tweeting just earlier, I said, other teams, like Chelsea played yesterday, and they're playing on Tuesday. We played, when did we play again? Yesterday as well, yeah. We played yesterday, and we're playing on Thursday. And I said, giving us a rest until Thursday is an absolute crime in a good way. Because Aston Villa thought, yeah, they held a beatdown when City went over there and gave them 6. I said, if you think that was a beatdown, yeah, wait till we come in town. Because 4 days of rest, we're gonna smack you guys up. Because all the lads are gonna be fit. No one's gonna be injured. 4 days of rest, bro. Yo, Aston Villa ain't ready. So we're gonna slap them and take Jack Grealish off them. So listen, do you know what I mean? So it feels good. It feels so good to be a United fan. This time, this period, especially after the lockdown, since the season has come back, it's been so good to be a United fan, man. It feels so good.
That's it, man. It feels so good, man. You know what I mean? That whole feeling, you know.
I'm not that cocky as Aaron, you know what I mean? It's the thing about me watching football for about 30 years is that when you think you're this and that, football has a habit of smacking you back down, bro. So,
backhand.
Trust me, getting that backhand where you go, you don't just swirl around, you go in a spin, you know what I mean? You've been hit that hard, you start going like that, you know what I mean? And then you fall, you know what I mean? Like a disco ball spinning, you know what I mean? That's what happens to you, man. You get spun like a disco ball. So I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how the game, how it continues. But other than that, I think that some of the teams that we played against have kind of played into our hands.
Yeah.
But one thing I did, so you two were asking me questions, even all the podcasts that we've done, all of the questions done, and we were saying, you know what? First of all, so let me get off to first. First of all, shout out Flawless. The 5 Avengers he's talking about. If any of them get injured or any of them lose form, the clicking don't work. Right?
That's true, yeah.
Clicking don't work. And also, second of all, you can clearly see, Saeed, there's no freestyle football. It's method to this. There is a method. There's a way of playing. There's a ball.
This is what I mean, man.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to have to agree with you.
Let me finish.
Do not agree with this
Let me finish.
I'm going to have to agree with him, Saeed. I'm going to have...
No. Don't come into this trap, man. He's got better players now. There's no tactics involved. I keep saying this again and again. Go on, then.
Finish. Can you just let me finish, please? Right. we've already seen the way the fullbacks used, right? And then the way how even in the last 2-3 games, how much Luke Shaw is literally how much. So first of all, how much as at times, because he's not running it, how at times Rashford just wants to receive the ball at the halfway line, and he's taking it. So at times varying it, because before you would just get the ball and think, I'm gonna try to run. He's looking more inside, and he's seeing the runners from Bruno, runners from Luke Shaw, runners from Pogba, runners from Greenwood, runners from Martial. So another playmaker that's becoming a playmaker in our team is Rashford. Rashford is holding halfway line and coming inside a little bit and playing direct balls to the middle to the runners, right? The other thing, Luke Shaw is absolutely balling down and running. Even if that doesn't mean something comes of it, the intention is there. That's the thing that we've all been screaming out for a long, long time. Wan-Bissaka now is putting different types of crosses. He's picking his moments where to cross the ball, to punch it into him and Greenwood having that kind of connection where Greenwood can take the ball on the turn, and then other times where he's going past his man or I'm crossing it, or other times where the ball is given to him, he's laying it back to Pogba or laying it back to Bruno or laying it back to Greenwood to get the ball in the box. So we didn't see those things. We would see it here and there. But what we're seeing now is even the way the ball goes.
We're playing lesser teams, guys. This is what we've got to realize.
Of course.
But you can only beat what's in front of you.
I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish. And I started this with, it's because these teams are playing into our hands. That's what I started this with, right? That doesn't mean that when we come against good quality, can we pick these moments to be able to attack them? And what happens when they put things in plan to try to stop that aspects of our build-up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's something that we're going to have to contend with. But you asked me this question. Aaron's there. He's my witness. The viewers of the Straightjacket podcast are all there. They can all see it. You said to me, can OLE do this? Now, I'm not saying OLE because we won 3 games.
Have we not seen this before, though? Have we not seen this before?
No. We've seen it in a differently. Now, so if you see the actual goals, like even the ball being fired low and hard across, even yesterday, like one of the things that I spotted yesterday was that, and I said it on the United Stand fan cam, I said that I was watching Martial and I could imagine all of the Martial haters and all the people who are on Martial's back going, he's not even in the box. We need to go. He's not even in the box. And what he was literally doing is that when a team like that has got a low block kind of team setup, and they're all defending, what you had is, so you had the 2 midfield players who were in the box. You've got the 4 defenders in. That's 6. And then he makes even one of the strikers even dropping back and being in the box. And what he found is that he couldn't get any. So when Wan-Bissaka's crossing the ball, I counted maybe once or twice where it was Shaw, and one time it was Bruno as well, and Wan-Bissaka actually 3 times where they crossed the ball, and there was multiple defenders who cut the ball out before he reached Martial. Martial then went, right, I'm going to go to the right. Rashford is going to go on the other side. So there was an alternation in play. And then Greenwood came down the middle. And Greenwood's main thing was not just run beyond. He was just holding the ball and just getting that touch in. And the space, as he used the intelligence, and I can 100% imagine that, especially at Old Trafford, even whatever on next season is going to happen when fans are backing loud in the stadium. What's going to happen is that teams are going to understand we've got a method now of getting the ball in the box and in the right areas. So our strikers have to be clever to be able to think, where is the space? And Martial, I looked at the bench and I'm not seeing Phelan or anything like that. I wasn't there, obviously. But from the cameras on TV, I'm not seeing any of the players telling them to get in. That means that plan is being worked on. That means that the coaching, that means that the other players on the pitch.
It's called field goal practice.
Let me finish. The other players on the pitch understand. Other players on the pitch. This is my last point. Listen, other players on the pitch understand that he's doing that for a reason and how to make that space and build a triangle. So we've seen triangles. We've seen balls in the box. We've seen what happens when team comes against us in terms of numbers in the box. That's what I wanted to clear. That's my last point.
You know what I tried to make the point, Aaron, is it's called feel good factor football because we're on a roll right now. The real test, Nuruddin, is when we can go from here. Not now. Oh, no.
You're going to have to repeat that, Saeed. We didn't hear that. We didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
we didn't hear that, man.
You're bouncing, man. You're bouncing. You're knocking off the laptop with your bouncing, lad. That's what you do. That's why the sound's messed up.
What?
I know why we couldn't hear him.
Why is that?
You know why, Norden.
Neil Ashton.
It's your boy Neil Ashton. Neil Ashton is disturbing the interference. He's responsible for that interference, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go on.
All right, cool.
So basically, what I'm trying to say to you is, Man United right now are playing free-flowing football. I understand that. But with better players, in terms of Bruno Fernandes and Pogba, are allowed to do what any natural midfielders are allowed to do. Ronaldinho, if he was playing for Barcelona right now in this current system, he has a way of playing where it's almost a case of a manager can never say to this guy, yo, listen, I want you in that position, I want you in that position. It's almost a case of talent works for itself sometimes in football. But Man United right now are playing a brand of football right now where it's almost a case of it's a feel-good factor. I've seen it before with Ole. He's played a feel-good factor football when Pogba was in the team, Matic was in the team, Herrera was in the team. These are the same level of field. Yes, Bruno Fernandes is better midfielder. I understand that. But we had this for a few moments, for a few games. And then what happened? It went downhill. And you can almost say, he's got better players. I understand that we had injuries. But the kind of, what do you call it? The almost style of play stays with you no matter what. It stays with you. Your transitional play stays with you. I didn't see that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer throw it out the window. He played counter-attacking football. It was almost negative at times. We're losing games to Burnley, Newcastle. There was nothing there. And that is why I don't understand with Ole. It's a case of now it's, he's got a style of play. No. Season, it was nothing. It's no brand of football. That's what I don't get.
So, that was not my point. My point was that what you asked me a couple of weeks ago, he said, can we see these patterns of play? Can we see that? Now, that doesn't mean that's not going to go away. And then my point about these five, shout out Flawless again, these five Avengers, if they get injured, the quality is going to drop. So the movement is going to drop heavily because we don't have anybody off the bench that can be able to carry out that type of game plan. Now, some players are limited, Saeed, yeah? But what you do, some players are limited. But what you can do with some players is that you can have the same running patterns. You can have the same balls into the box. You can have all of that. Like there's teams that's why we like Eddie Howe, because Eddie Howe, listen, no, we can talk about it. Why do I like Eddie Howe? Because I see players that are less talented, he can get them to play style of football. Of course, now their confidence is super low, and they're not hitting. But Ole is the fact that what you don't understand is that you can't pick and choose. You can't want to say it's all the players, and you can't say it's not.
Eddie Howe will do it no matter what with the players he's got.
No, I'm saying to you, but Ole, but Ole is developing a style, and the coaching are developing a style of play. But it depends on the opposition you're up against.
Is it because better players though now?
Oh, of course.
Level now.
Been Man United. Why do you think all these other managers have struggled? Do you not think if Jose had a better quality of players?
There you go then. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, of course. But what I'm saying to you, it's about, and that's what I said to you. I said it to you, Soccernomics, and I referred to that in this podcast. Yeah. I said, refer to that book. Managers make this matter in terms of personal belief and one-to-one managers. One-to-one in terms of like getting the best out of individual players. But in terms of like players, you're only good as the quality you have. You're only good as that. But I'm saying to you, of course I'm worried. I'm not saying by any means, sorry, Aaron, you can come in and I can shut up for a long time. Yeah. You make the point. But what I want people to understand, I am not saying this is it. I'm still skeptical of Ole. I'm still skeptical of Woodward and the Glazers, for more importantly, because it's about buying and having players on the bench that where we don't have to notice the quality, the level of quality drop, because it's about the level of quality on the pitch. Of course, players use and interpret how the game's going. They feel it out like everything else. They can tell. They don't need a manager to tell them everything. But I'm saying is that one thing we've not seen with Ole is even those patterns of play. We've not seen a Luke Shaw going up there and doing that. And the way you wrong, Saeed, is that I pick up where the new role that Pogba's got now. You see Pogba yesterday, He was far behind, more times more behind than Matic. Because he's thinking, how can I pick that ball up? Because I only can play that passes to Bruno or to the other guys. How can we control the game here in midfield? And he was also covering for Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka was going right up the pitch and Pogba was the cover on that right-hand side. So now I'm going to turn my mic off and I'm going to shut up as you ask Aaron the questions.
Aaron, where do you stand on this? Like, because with me and you been watching, you know what I mean? Like, I know it as well. How when it was bad. And I would say that for me is a sign of a manager of how his credentials are. Does he stick with his philosophy? Does he stick with his methods? Yes, you can have better players, Aaron. I understand it. But the same principles work in football. With Eddie Howe, like he keeps playing the same brand of football. Sheffield United, don't go shy away from them. They see it with Tottenham the other day. Yes, better players make you as a better manager. But I almost feel like right now, Bruno Fernandes, that's why I call it Bruno FC. Bruno Fernandes is almost making Ole Gunnar Solskjaer look that good. And when it doesn't go well for Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, that is when I want to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer make certain changes, make certain, adjustments and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do when it's going badly. This is not the real test for me right now. And that is why everyone's getting ahead of it. Ollie ball. Oh, are you Ollie in now? Da, da, da. I don't understand all this nonsense because it was very, very bad before Bruno Fernandes. I already know he says so. We weren't going to sign Bruno Fernandes. We weren't going to sign Gallo if it was for the injuries. So I don't know, Aaron, man. I'm kind of baffled by all this like change of I know we're playing better football and it's good and whatnot, and I'm happy. But to say, oh, look at Ollie now, he's got a style of play. I think that's a bit too much for me, man, Aaron.
I'm not saying that. I would say, well, since Bruno's come in, he's lifted the quality of players around him.
Undeniable.
And Pogba as well, since he's been back, he's lifted the quality of other players around him as well. You know, sometimes, obviously, I play football at a certain level, and sometimes you can be, you know you're good, but something just doesn't work out in the team, and you're just not playing as well as you're used to. But then one player comes in, and all of a sudden, because of his quality, you're thinking, right, I need to raise up my levels here. And you raise up your level, and someone else might think the same thing. Someone else might think the same thing. So now, when Bruno came in, I'm sure the whole team looked at it and went, right, we need to raise our levels here because he's levels. So if we're not on his level to facilitate stuff for him, instead of him doing everything, it's going to be peak. So I think that's what it is at the moment with Manchester United, because Pogba and Bruno are back, or Pogba is back and Bruno came into the team. Because both of them have such sheer quality, it's making the rest of the team think we need to raise our levels here. I wouldn't necessarily say that there is a clear style of play, but I could see certain traits. I could see certain things. For example, like Nordin said, the reason why I didn't understand why Pogba was playing so deep, but now I do understand, because in the team, there is no one that can play a good ball from the back to the front as good as Pogba. So therefore, he has to play deeper than he usually does. Do you see what I mean? He has to play deeper than he usually does. If you look at the goal we scored against Sheffield United, the goal we scored, the Martial hat-trick, the third goal, when he plays that little 1-2 with Rashford, and look at the balls that were played before. It's played from in a deep line position from Pogba. That ball literally cut through the whole midfield. Then obviously Bruno does the little flick. Martial 1-2 with Rashford, and then Martial scores. There is no one in the team that can play that ball as precise, as hard, with the right pace at the right time as Pogba. I'm sorry, nobody can do that. And those little things, I can see that I think this is like a little trigger kind of thing. I think this is a kind of trigger. Look at Tottenham, the Tottenham game. Remember when Martial got the chance and then Dyer came in and he just blocked the shot? Look at the passes before that. Pogba plays the ball into Bruno. Literally, a good ball into Bruno. Bruno literally, he does a little flick, turns around himself, boom, fizzes it into Martial's feet, and then Martial gets the chance. I think that's kind of like the trigger. I literally think that's the trigger. I think when Bruno gets the ball, if he turns, that's literally a trigger to everyone, like, go into your position, make the runs. Do you see what I mean? So I wouldn't necessarily say there is a clear style of play, but I can definitely see what is being worked on. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of my view on it.
Okay, let me know in the comments below, guys. Does Ollie have a style of play, or am I wrong? And should I give more credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Is Nuruddin right? You know what I mean? Can you see the clear patterns in play? And Aaron has mentioned. We're just going to go to the next topic. Your boy Nuruddin, you know what I mean? The boy that you've always talked about. You know what I mean? You said you're the FC, you're the chairman. Greenwood, made in Bradford, and now shine. You know, man, it just begs the question: why was this guy not around when he was 16? You know what I mean? When Mourinho was in charge, apparently there was talk of Greenwood was absolutely dominant at under 16 level, under 18 level. Just how special is this kid, man, Nuruddin?
He's special, but I don't really want to get too carried away because you know what? At times where we get carried away with young players, what I would say is that everybody's now giving a name saying, "Oh, he's like Van Persie." You know, I mean, because I think you know when first time I ever watched him live, I was like, "This kid's like Rivaldo because he walks like Rivaldo." Do you know what I mean? He's got that like bow legs. Yeah, the bow leg like Rivaldo, and I seen the left foot, but then I remember the right foot as well. But for me, I'm not going to put him to Rivaldo. I will only use him to compare him to Van Persie. He is Mason Gunslinger Greenwood, mate. That's who he is. Like he is, and you can choose whether you get slapped from the right, you get slapped from the left. You know what I mean?
Free, I said. You know, buy one get one free.
Trust me, buy one get one free. But to me, his level, the ceiling can be right up. And one of the biggest things that I give any credit to is Ole, the way Ole has managed him. Like yesterday, taking him off, and obviously today we see all the papers. He's everywhere, Greenwood and Golden. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously something that we knew he's capable of, and then him being allowed to adapt because he wasn't being used. And the thing about it is that some United fans are now saying, "Oh no, I don't want Sancho." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" The reason why we don't want Greenwood, what's happened to Rooney in the last 5 years of Rooney's career happened to Greenwood. We don't want him burnt out. We don't want this kid. We already have things about Rashford being burnt out. You know what I mean? Martial may be getting a burnt. We don't want this kid being burnt out. And one of the biggest credits that I give to any Ole is that number one credit I say, the way he's managed Greenwood, the way he has managed Greenwood and the way he brings him in, the way he plays him in, and how other aspects of his game when he's in the game is improving. Yeah, he's more involved now than he was last season against Cardiff. Remember last season, you know, the last game when he was missing chances. He's more involved. Before it was just give him the ball and let's see what he can do. But now he's involved in terms of defending. He's involved in terms of his positioning around the pitch because learning to play the wide position and then coming inside takes a different thing. And his natural footballing skills come to play. Like I always said, this kid can receive the ball any place, anytime. He can make space because he's got that deft touch on his left foot. His intelligence and awareness, his footballing attributes. To me, the ceiling can only be like it's high. The ceiling is high, but I just don't want everybody getting carried away and putting pure pressure on him because once you put pure pressure on a kid, you can stunt the growth. And I'm seeing that. And all of this talk about we don't need this. Those Avengers, right? Those five, like Flawless says, those five, they can get injured, lose form. All those things, and it's especially with young players. I've watched it throughout since I've been watching. I've watched the inconsistency. I've watched the levels of drop, and some of them don't drop. Some of them just go up and go up. But for me, he gives me a lot of like brightness in the future in terms of like even if Martial is injured, like we can, you know, Greenwood couldn't be the guy who plays because he's a finisher. He's a finisher, and even yesterday, I was watching it. Without the effects yesterday at the game, and I could hear the Bournemouth defenders shouting. Literally, they were shouting,
"Don't let him turn!
Don't let him turn!" I'm like, Ras. So already he's going out, and of course teams are going to work out which way he goes, how he does, how he punches the ball in. So there is this, but I just don't want all of us to overhype him and to put more pressure because he's a young kid. Of course, he uses social media. Of course, he's in because all that anxiety and pressure can come to it, especially when he's not on form. All I say to all those lovers now of Greenwood, are you still gonna love him when he's not on form?
Well, that's a big question. Aaron, you know what? There's one thing I can agree with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is when he said that he was the best finisher at the football club.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what, mate? I can't disagree with
Absolutely.
that one. What? Left foot, right foot. Buy one, get one free, I said, from Tesco value. You know what I mean? You go and get one, buy one free. You know what I mean? This guy is just unbelievable. It just begs the question, man. Like, nobody says, oh, you know what I mean? We don't, you know what I mean? Sometimes all this nonsense talk about Sancho. But if he's playing that well, man, something's got to be, you know what I mean, done. For Sancho to come into the team when Greenwood's playing this good, I understand there's a squad team or whatnot. But Greenwood, man, this guy, I didn't have expected him to be this good at this early age. You know what I mean? To be scoring the Callum, for me, the second goal is better than Martial goal. I don't know if you guys agree, but the fact of the matter is he turned him and the ball just almost like fizzes in right corner and no chance for the keeper. I don't think any keeper's saving that for me.
Yeah, man. Like you said, bro, the kid is special. Like Nurdin says as well. Left foot, right foot, he can do it all, man. Like, honestly, I mean, the confidence was so high that at one point, I don't know if you guys remember when we had the free kick and Pogba and Bruno stood there. Mason went to stand over the ball as well to try and discuss if he could take it. The confidence is there in it. The confidence is there, and I understand. You just scored 2 goals. You possibly want to get a hat trick. I understand. Do you know what I mean? It's the gas. You're gassing yourself. Yeah. But I agree with Norden that we can't afford to overhype the kid. We can't afford to overplay him as well. I still believe we should get Sancho. Why not, man? We're Manchester United. We should have the best players in every position. In every position that we have, we should have at least 2 or 3 world-class players. I mean, I watched the Bayern game yesterday in the cup final against Leverkusen, and these guys could afford to have a Coutinho on the bench. These guys can afford to have who else was on the bench? A Thiago on the bench. Like, do you know what I mean? And they strengthened themselves with Sane, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? So can you imagine the options that they're going to have next season? We need to get to that level as well. I want to be at the level where we start a Greenwood, but we can bring on a Sancho because, you know, he's been playing a lot and he's been rested. So let's give him a rest and then he can come. I want to be at that level where we start a Greenwood. It's a problem for the defense. He scores 2 goals, or it's 2-2. It's a draw, and Greenwood just scored 2 goals, and we're like, okay, Mason, you can come off, and we bring on Sancho, and everyone's like, oh my God, we just had to deal with Greenwood. Now we just had to deal with Greenwood. Now we have to deal with Sancho. Do you see what I mean? I want to create those problems for oppositions. So I still believe we should get Sancho. I still believe we should get a centre back and a midfielder possibly. So I want to be at the level where we create problems for oppositions. One player comes off, another quality player comes on, and they're like, oh, for God's sake, man, it's still more work. We're not going to be able to we're not going to be able to relax here. Do you see what I mean? So, but yeah, on Greenwood.
Man City have done it. Man City have done it. Look, Gundogan is a first teamer. You don't know who's a first teamer at Man City.
I mean,
we want to be able to cause that confusion that nobody knows, and that's how it used to be. You two are maybe too young. That is how I started watching football, man.
And you know what? And you know what?
Dwight York and Andy Cole. 1 minute it is Solskjaer and Sheringham, and 1 minute is Giggs. Do you know what I mean? Or Poborski, or all of that. Like, one is David Beckham playing inside because one of the Roy Keane or Nick, one of them is injured. Do you know what I mean? All of this idea that Man United are now saying, just because Greenwood scored yesterday and we see how good he is, that he's going to lose form. He's going to be injured. There's going to be injuries.
It's always going to happen.
Martial. There's going to be Rashford. So if Sancho comes, it's going to be, and then there's going to be times in the big games, it's where the manager then makes a thing, who trained well this week? Who can I trust to carry out my thing? But if you're looking at the bench, imagine you're looking at the bench and looking at, instead of Lingard, instead of Pereira, instead of Mata, imagine you're looking at the bench going, right, I can bring on Sancho, Grealish, and maybe Ndidi, like for Mata. Do you know, like
wow,
or Partey, something like that, where you go, right, you know what, you're playing this week, you're not, and when you're going to fight for Champions League and you're going to fight for the Premier League, there's gonna be so many games, and plus all the cup games as well. You're gonna be battling a lot on all fronts. So what you're gonna be doing is going, you can play this week, but maybe you can play in the cup games until that person gets up to speed. So when a player is coming back from an injury, you're not putting them back. You're not putting them back. You're saying, let's deal with this injury properly because there's another player there already that's playing. This part of it, Man City don't have a first 11. Man City don't have a first 11.
And that's a great point, because even look at the game against Liverpool. Yes, they won 4-0 and it was great, but what amazed me the most is when I was watching that game with my mates that came over, they took off. Who was it that they took off? Who was playing on that round? I can't remember who played. Anyway, they took off a player who was quality, and they put on Mahrez.
No,
Yeah, Mahrez came on. Yeah,
Mahrez came on, and then another player went off, and Bernardo Silva came on, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, you can have Mahrez and Bernardo Silva on the bench, like, and you best believe they're going to strengthen with another winger, because Sane just left. They're going to replace him. So next season, they're going to have even more quality. So we need to get to that level as well. Like I just said, or like Nurdin just said, imagine looking at the bench, and you've got your main players on the pitch, but someone's just having an off day, because it can happen. It happens to everyone. Sancho's having an off day, or I don't know, Pogba's having an off day, Bruno's it can happen to anyone. So you go, do you know what, Bruno, you're having an off day. I'm not having anything personal against you, but do you know what? Come off. All right, Grealish, go on. You show us what you got. Pogba, you're having an off day, man. Do you know what I mean? You're not playing well today. All right, Van der Beek, you go. Show us what you got. Do you know what I mean? You need to have quality on the bench. And I think all of us have said it. The first team, quality in the first team is important. But quality on the bench is even more important, because anything can happen in the game. Yeah. God forbid. I'm not wishing this on anyone, but anyone can pick up a double leg fracture in the game. You never know. It happened to Luke Shaw. We never knew that would happen. You need to have like-for-like replacements, and those like-for-like replacements have to be as good, if not better, than the person that's on the pitch. Do you see what I mean? So yes, we still need to go out there in the market and buy, because next season, I don't know if Liverpool's going to buy. I believe next season Liverpool, they're going to have the same arrogance and go, nah, we won the league last year. We're going to do the same thing this season. Okay, cool. But City are going to strengthen, definitely.
Chelsea.
We need to strengthen. Chelsea are not done. If anyone thinks Chelsea are done, you're wrong. They're not done recruiting. They're going to buy more. So everyone's going to recruit. I believe Tottenham, because they finished so bad this season, Mourinho's going to put the pressure on Daniel Levy, and they're going to recruit. So everyone's going to be on Liverpool's neck. You see what I mean?
Arsenal. Arteta's already said, board knows what I want.
There you go. So we need to strengthen as well. We need to make sure that we need to get the players that we need to strengthen the areas where we lack, and also strengthen in the areas where we do have quality. But like Nurdin said, and like I said, anyone can have an off day. Anyone can pick up an injury. Anyone can pick up fatigue. Because next season, it's going to be a long season next season, bro. It's going to be a long season, because right now we're playing through the summer. The players don't forget, Saeed, we're playing Europa League as well, in August. So imagine we go all the way to the final, 21st of August. How many weeks of rest are the players going to have? How many weeks of holidays are they going to have? 1, 2? They're going to have to come back, because the season starts back in end of September, start of October. So they're going to have not even a month of worth of holidays. So they're going to play so many games till the end of August, take some time off, come back. They're going to have to do a pre-season thing again, and then play the whole season again until the end of May next year. So it's going to be a lot of games, and we need players to fit in our squad. We need players on the bench that can replace the players in our first team.
Yeah, and you just look at that as well. Our front three now have scored more goals than Salah, Firmino, and Mane, which says a lot. Mason Greenwood, Rashford, and Martial. I just want to touch on the defence, Nuruddin. Harry Maguire, known as Harry Beckenbauer. Maybe not so Beckenbauer at the minute yesterday.
No, he played well. You'd be shocked for me to hear that. You'd be shocked for me to hear that. I don't mind, Saeed, a player getting beat. I don't mind you getting done by a beautiful piece of skill. That's what we all watch football for.
I know.
So, this madness that a defender of that caliber can't get beat. It's like, what are you talking about? There's no point playing football then.
No.
This ain't like FIFA career mode thing that you got going on, where one defender can never be, because his points, he's 99 or this and that. This is how much it is. This football ain't computer game. Football is real life, like it's played on the pitch.
That goal. Who do you blame for that goal?
Listen,
remember, 1 second. Shaw is out of position. I don't know if you've seen the goal when the cross came in.
Yeah.
Position. Lindelof headers the ball out into the danger where Stanislas is, and then Lindelof as well. I don't know if you see it, but he almost stands where De Gea is, and I think is it Josh King or whoever it is in the box. He could square it past to Josh King, and he would have been free. So his position would have been poor anyway. Harry Maguire, I understand he gets megged, and it's a big, big shame. But I understand people would be out there saying, "Oh, Harry Maguire gets megged." I understand people get megged in football, but David De Gea, his classic near post, gets beat again, Nuruddin.
Yeah. Listen. So basically, let me just say this. So let me just finish what I was saying, right? I don't mind defenders getting done for one-on-one. Do you know what I mean? That happens. One-on-one, when you are there, the only thing I would have seen, like, he was square. That's the only thing I would say, like, he was square. And that's a technical part. That is a technical defensive part of thing. If you're going to criticize Maguire, is that Maguire could have been a bit side on. Do you know what I mean? You could have been a bit side on. You were too square and he megged you. But the fact that we love football for that. We all watch football. The imagination of Stanislas, like, to have that imagination to do it. The other thing was that David De Gea comes out because he's not away. He's not touching his post. He comes out in a way to try to spread himself.
Yeah.
But the finish is one of those where we just
it's a good finish.
Got to credit the piece of skill.
Yeah.
And we've got to credit the finish. What we don't credit, what is a structural thing, is that Luke Shaw is getting used to the fact that now he's going up the pitch, so he's offering us more attacking. Now he needs to try to get back, or other players have to fill in that space for him. Because as Pogba's trying to do it for Wan-Bissaka, Matic or somebody else in midfield, maybe Rashford, and Rashford, to be fair, did it a couple of times, where he is filling in for Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw's bombed on.
Matic as well. Matic as well.
Yeah. So this is the thing that we need to realize and think, these things are going to happen. But what was worrying me defensively yesterday was that anytime any sort of pressure was coming on us, David De Gea was passing the way he was passing the ball out, the way we weren't being aware, the way that we weren't aware of the bad passes with. So I blame Maguire, not because he got beat. I blame Maguire giving the ball away for the second goal, for the penalty. I blame him for giving the ball away. He gives the ball away. It's an easier pass to go again to Bailly, but he tries to thread this ball through the middle. You know what I mean? Like, through the middle. And it was too congested there. Of course, he's trying to get us up the pitch and quicker. But there's a time to do it, and there's a time not to do it. And sometimes it's instincts in it. So I might blame him for that pass. But then what Matic does, and your boy Goldbridge is like, he should head the ball. How can you head the ball when the ball is on that side? I'm like, I had to tweet him back and go, listen, that the ball is already gone past you here. How can he then change his body to head the ball? Matic's pass, Bailly just came on. Matic's pass, and I can see that there's an agenda being created now with Ricky and people saying, "Oh, Bailly is Bailly." Listen, Bailly is
Bailly. Listen to me. It's on as well, you know, that he's not good enough. You know what I mean?
Listen, to me, I don't trust. Listen, I don't trust Bailly in terms of keeping fit, but I trust his instincts. And he does some mad things. He does things that are unorthodox. But I'd rather have somebody who does things that are unorthodox. Unlike James, who just gets done and get beaten in every way. Technically gets bullied. Do you know what I mean? Physically gets bullied. Technically gets housed. Doesn't know what's behind him. All of these different things. And he's not played football. He's been injured. But I thought second half, they thought twice about trying to counter us because they knew Bailly was there to cut the ball out. But I can see that there's this agenda being created now against Bailly because we want to. I believe we did because I don't trust the fact that he can stay fit. But it was David De Gea yesterday. Maguire could have been better with passes. Lindelof, we already talked about it. I said it. I haven't got anything against him. I don't have anything against him. No. But sometimes he can be out strength.
Or he had a good game yesterday.
No, listen. None of that defense. Nobody was terrible. But we were shaky in parts. We were really shaky. And a lot of the things is because the way we are. One thing I do know about this, and I've noticed it, and about other games and about big teams, is that OLE and the coaching staff need to do a lot more where our defense gets pressed. Yeah. And when we get pressed, can we get out of the press? Now, we showed it when Brighton kind of pressed us in some ways. Sheffield United tried to press us. And yesterday was the biggest one where we tried to get out of the press when we really are getting pressed.
Yeah.
But we have to do a bit more.
To show, is he a defensive coach, though?
No,
OLE.
No, not really. I think OLE is more about, like, he wants to bring back that attacking kind of emphasis at Man United and gathering more attacking. But listen, we're going to concede goals, But there's like Kieran McKenna, like, they're an all-round coach. They're not specifically just about. There's other coaches there in the club, and also the players and whoever's doing the videotape work can say, listen, this is what you're doing. So as a whole team, Ollie's not just doing every aspect of the coaching. It's the whole analysis team who are doing this, who are picking out positioning, technical deficiencies, what's going on in terms of as a unit, how you play as a unit.
Aaron, do we need a centre-back this summer? Because I think we do.
Yeah, we do. Because
I know they said Koulibaly, but he's going to be a very, very sought for this summer. You know what I mean? People are saying, oh, he's getting old a bit. He's not got the pace, but I don't believe none of that. I think he'll be absolutely quality again with Maguire.
People saying that Koulibaly's getting old. Like, do you think, like, now he's quality, but when we get him, all of a sudden he's gonna lose his quality and get old? Like, come on, man, he's gonna maintain that same level, bro.
Where's out of him?
Of course, man. If he comes,
sure for that.
Exactly. If he comes to United, he just won the flipping Coppa Italia with Napoli, man. The guy's quality, man. People need to stop this. Oh, he's old, because when we got Zlatan, nobody was talking about his age because you knew what he was about. You knew Zlatan comes in.
Well, don't talk about his age.
There you go. You knew when Zlatan comes in, that means goals. You knew that. Do you see what I mean? What do you expect Koulibaly to come and do? Like, dribble 5-6 men and score flipping top bins? Nah, man. He's here to defend, and he's brilliant at defending. He's a brilliant defender. So, and Koulibaly, we could go in the market and get him. Do you know what I mean? We definitely need a centre back. The price tag is not going to be too high because Bayern Munich just got Sané for less than 60 million euros when last year he was rated at 100. Ah, come on, man. Come on, bro. Honestly, if we could do a madness here this summer, we could actually go and get Koulibaly and Sancho and maybe get another midfielder in.
Are you agreeing with that? You know what I mean? We can get Koulibaly in there and then we look at the strong defence, you know what I mean? And this nonsense of, like Aaron said, man, is old, you know what I mean? Crazy, isn't it? What time we live in, Lord.
It's narratives, man. Because if we get linked with who's an English player in his 30s now in the Premier League?
Henderson.
Yeah.
No, please no. If we get linked to Mark Noble, yeah, people will be like, oh yeah, get him in. His work rate. But you won't be talking about his age. No. Stop this age thing, man. Come on, bro. He's quality for a reason, and there's a reason why every top club in the world is after him.
Yeah, to me, it just be an absolute intent. If you want to talk about intent signing, you get Koulibaly. To me, Man United, like, just look at it now and think exactly what Gary Neville said, and that's why I agree with Gary Neville. Take advantage, because I know Chelsea are taking advantage already. Chelsea are doing madness. So if Man United were to get, I think Man United could get Sancho, Grealish, Koulibaly for about just under 200 or about 200 million.
And sell on a few players as well.
Yeah. So also
Smalling,
Sanchez, Smalling. Maybe Lingard is leaving because that's what everybody's saying he's leaving. You don't get a agent like, you know what I mean, like you know, agent like what's the name? The same agent as Pogba.
Raiola.
Yeah, you don't get an agent like Raiola when you're not looking for a move. Maybe Pereira, because Pereira wants to go to Real Madrid and Barcelona. You know what I mean? We could.
You never know.
You know, no, I think Mata might kind of like, Mata might just see out his last year and then go afterwards. But if Lingard and Pereira are going, do you know what I mean? And then you're getting rid of Sanchez, you're getting rid of Smalling, you can raise money at least to buy one player, just one of those players. So that's what it could be. That's what it could be. But to me, Man United can do that. If Man United can do that, that is an intent, because then you're saying at the bench, you know what? And obviously get rid of Jones, you know, I mean, give him to Newcastle. The Newcastle owners don't know nothing about, new owners don't know nothing about anything. All they know is Jones, Manchester United, Premier League winner. That's all they will understand, you know what I mean? So we could sell some of these players and raise enough funds to be able to afford some of the money. And if United were to do that, but come on, guys, this is Man United. Who are we kidding, Aaron? Who are we kidding, Saeed? Who are we kidding? They don't see it like that. The Glazers see the thing as a cash cow. And we all know the intentions of our CEO, the guy who's in control of the money and the football, who's running the football inside, are Man United. It's Ed Deadwood Wood FC, and he's more concerned about what is said about him in the press than what the reality of Man United.
You never know. Flash might do the trick this summer. You never know,
mate. No.
Let's talk about Aaron. Let's talk about an upcoming fixture at Aston Villa.
Yes.
Like I said to you, I'm kind of missing United playing at the minute. I want us to play every day at the minute. You know what I mean?
Give us the rest. Give us the rest that we need so that the players can recharge and give and give the next team an absolute slapping.
So we got Aston Villa looking down and out. Do you see a shock on the card, or do you just think again another routine win?
It's gonna be a routine win, bro. Like, there's no way Aston Villa is gonna get a result. They're just too weak, man. They're just too weak. They've got the play. Don't get me wrong. They've got the players to be able to get a result, but I just don't think they're being coached properly. It's too much of give the ball to Grealish and let him do his magic.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me, and it's a bit of a shame because they played good football coming up from the Championship, but then again they had certain players that really made the difference. Twanzebe played a really good season with them in the Championship. There were other players that really made a difference in that team. Tammy Abraham, there we go. So those two players already signed a lot of players. The players didn't have time to gel, and that's kind of a mistake to do. Do you know what I mean? When you got a team that you came up with, try and keep that team together. You can add 1 or 2 or 3 players, but not a whole squad. It takes time to gel, and that's why Fulham went down after one season. Yeah. They spent over £100 million, and the same. I think Villa spent about the same this season, over £100 million, and the team didn't have time to gel, and it just doesn't work like that, man. It's not just, you can't just do that. So because of that, and because they probably know that they're going down and they're fighting for their lives at the moment, I believe we're going to slap them. We're going to go there. And I mean, City went there, gave them 6. We can go there, give them 5 again. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the quality is just oozing all over the pitch. Okay, it might not be 5, but I firmly believe it's going to be a win. The quality is just going to be too much for them. It's just going to be too much.
All right, confident Aaron there. Looney, you got to put into a counterbalance on there. Aston Villa have not conceded that many goals since a lot now. I mean, 0-0 against, I think it was Sheffield United. Then they lost 2-1 only to Chelsea. Then it was a 1-0 against Wolves. And then I think it was a 1-0 defeat to, who else was there? Brighton.
Newcastle. Was it Newcastle?
No, not Newcastle, no.
Who did it play? It was another team, and then they lost 1-0. Yeah, I remember seeing it. No,
let me check. They lost 1-0 to Wolves.
Wolves.
That was the last fixture.
That was the last fixture. Then they drew before that.
No, they don't. And that's the point I was going to come to. I was saying that it's hard for them. I mean, Aaron's just full of buoyance, full of cockiness now as a Man United fan. You know what I mean? Giving it out. He's giving it out. He's sending everybody to the shops, man. You know what I mean? Everybody's getting it. Even he's giving it out so much that his barber's going with his nice fades. You know what I mean? That's how much he's giving out, Aaron. But yeah, exactly. Shout out to the guy who did the fade for you, Aaron.
I'm open that one. Get your trims legally now.
You know what? Aaron modeling, you know what I mean? Doing a little head stretch. We see you, man. The thing that for me, what it is that they don't concede a lot of goals. They're going to be sitting back. They're going to be trying to counter us. They've got players to counter us. They've got Grealish who's dangerous. Grealish who would want to impress against Man United. And obviously, like he did when he scored that goal we were all there when he scored that wonder goal at Old Trafford.
Oh, yeah.
That was almost kind of Martial-esque, you know what I mean? Martial, that level of caliber, top bins, you know what I mean? Keeper can't do nothing. So he's going to be looking to do damage and doing a bit of a rehearsal for Man United to try to get his move, what happens to Villa, regardless of what happens to Villa. So it's going to be a very dangerous game for us. I think always in these games is the first goal. If the first goal is key because of the away game, the team then have to change their game plan and come attack us. They're not going to just sit back because even without their fans are going to be like, they're not trying. Because managers have 2 game plans, especially when you're struggling. Keep it tight as long as you can keep it tight, especially if you're struggling. And then as the game grows, the doubts that creep into the other team and the frustration of the missing chances. And then can we get one chance and take it? Because we've already been in good defensive discipline. We were going to stay to that shape. But when you score early against those teams with that kind of mentality and setup, you then force them to open up. That means more room for your danger men to get. And then your danger men then go and exploit that room and bang in more goals.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a tough game for me, but still, I just feel like we'll pick them off. I think it's gonna be. For me, I don't think it's gonna be a convincing win. I think it's about 3-1. I'm going for. Let me know your team lose. I would go unchanged again. I think we just got to keep momentum going. I think maybe Fred from Matic could be a good answer because Fred came on and did very, very well. When he came. And Matic sloppy against Bournemouth. I don't know if that maybe would change, but apart from that, are we all going with the same squad?
Yeah,
I'll go with the same squad.
You know what? I just want to make a point. I want to just make the point that the reason, one of the biggest reasons why, so it's one of the biggest reasons why that United are on such a good form could be also one big factor could be that we don't have any cup games like we're not having many like Europa League games and going away in Europe and then coming back and then being tired. We're literally planning. Yeah, massive factor. We're, like Aaron was saying before about when he put the tweet out today, is that, or yesterday, whatever, when he put the tweet out saying about 4 days, you're giving us 4 days. That is 4 days of planning, looking at the players, watching how Villa play, the weak points, the good points, the last game, studying the last game, how they played against us, what can we come up with a game plan to really beat them. So that gives a room. And the reason why you have a big squad where big players and you need more quality in your squad is that so that you can do that with the players that you rested. So you're saying you 3 guys this week are not playing. And because that's what Fergie used to do. Fergie go, you know what, you'll play that game. I've got that. Fergie used to map out games for players. You'll play that game. You two will play that game and I'm going to need you. You're on the bench now. Don't get disjointed, feel like you've been left out. I'm going to need you. So being managed to plan it, because obviously this Corona business has made it out so that we only have to play one more cup game, and then we're either out or we're in the final.
Yeah.
But other bit is league games that are all planned out every 3-4 days, and we already know that clearness to plan out is specifically, other than the manager, the manager and the rest of the coaching squad planning for 2 or 3 games. You know what I mean, in a row. So what am I going for?
Team lose. Bailly might be injured. Bailly might be playing though, so that might be the only option where we put in. So
who's injured? Bailly's injured or Lindelof?
It might be injured. I don't know if he'll be back, but would that be the only swap you'd be thinking of? Bailly for Lindelof?
In terms of defence, In terms of defence, I mean, I've got to give out shout to Ethan Laird. I think he's already he's just prior his Corona test. He's going to be joining in a squad to play because Tuanzebe, and I'm so absolutely devastated. I'm so gutted for Tuanzebe because this would have been a plan to see these amount of how many games we got left. It would have been to see maybe to partnering him up with do you know what I mean, to ease Bailly in terms of injury and then play Tuanzebe and then see how Tuanzebe and Maguire complement each other. But obviously, unfortunately, the injury is that bad, and I'm just asking the universe and touching wood that he comes back fit for next season and he's there in the reckoning. So I want to just say maybe just look at it again. I think you start with the same team, and if you get 1 or 2 goals up, then you can make the substitution. Yeah. But I think maybe Fred might deserve, or maybe McTominay. Maybe that's why McTominay wasn't involved. Maybe that's why he's got McTominay in hand for the Villa game, because it's more of a battle. We're going to battle in midfield.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's your score prediction you going for?
My score prediction is going to be 3-0.
3-0?
3-0 United. And I agree with what Nordin said. That's why we didn't see McTominay in action, because I don't think we're going to need much, let's say, quality, like technical quality. It's going to be more of a battle. Even in their defense, they've got very combative very combative centre back. So it's gonna be a battle, but I think we'll edge it 3-0.
No, we did. I went 3-1.
You know what? I don't care. I just want 1-0 Man United, 3 points. For me, it's all about the 3 points, man. I don't care. If it comes off somebody's backside, do you know what I mean? Because I know I've watched enough football to know goals dry up. 1 minute you're firing, next minute you can't buy a goal. You know what I mean? Football works in funny ways, so I don't care. And also, I want other guys to score goals. I don't want just to rely on the top 3. I want the defenders. I want Maguire. I want Lindelof. I want Shaw to be getting there. The ball the ball of the game yesterday was Pogba's ball to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, 10 yards out of goal. like, and then the keeper made a save, I think, or hit the post. Like, that was the pass of the game for me. Like, from his own half, picked out Luke Shaw, pinpoint, right there and there, of a beautiful, and he had the backspin, so the ball wasn't, he can just control it and then to shoot. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Say
that again.
1-0 to the United.
1-0 to United. I don't care if it comes off somebody's backside. An own goal. I don't care.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, that's been the podcast 76, guys. Big up to the mandem in the building, Nuruddin and Aaron, for coming on. Let's get the socials from the guys. Aaron, we'll start off with you, bro.
Yes, Mr. Aaron UTD. You can follow me everywhere on social media and on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that as well.
Yeah, man. Link will be in the description. It's road to 5K, guys. Please subscribe to his channel. Do European podcasts every week. Go check him out. Nuruddin, let me know your socials, bro.
Before I do that, listen, Kai Havertz apparently wants to leave Aaron. Is he a Chelsea's player, or is Bayern Munich going to do the madness and miss out on him?
Chelsea's going to go for him.
Why can't we go for him?
I don't.
He would be a youngster. Can you imagine resting Bruno and playing Kai Havertz?
Oh.
That would be crazy, man.
But we'll leave that to another day. Socials, Nuruddin.
That guy, Red Devil, mate. It just hurts me, innit? It just hurts me.
Yeah.
If only our ambitions were matched by the bloody club, mate. If only our ambitions were matched by the club.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Podcast 76, guys. Please like the video. Subscribe to United Central. We are nearly at 15K, guys. We're about 900 away from 15K, guys. So please, bottom right-hand corner, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, it'll be a big milestone if we can get to 15K. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please, like you see with Aaron doing there, subscribe down below. But that's been your podcast 76, guys, sponsored by the One Football app. Like I said to you, it's a new brand, new branding, new logo. Go check it out. Same content, you know what I mean? Brand new features in there. So go check it out. Very, very, very useful. I use it all the time. Aaron uses it all the time. The boys use it all the time. So yeah, man, go check it out. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, man, hopefully we get a result against Aston Villa and United keep marching on. The top 4 race is still there. Hopefully Arsenal can do us a favour and not become Banter FC and win against Leicester. And then hopefully Chelsea can drop points somewhere. But guys, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you soon after the Aston Villa game where United can get 3 points, guys. Guys, enjoy your evening, enjoy your night, wherever you're part in the world. Guys, see you later, guys. Bye-bye and peace.